Your cat will not stop licking their paws. It is 2 a.m., and there it is again, that soft, wet, rhythmic sound in the dark. Lick, 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 and here is the trap. A little of that is completely normal. A cat spends nearly half their waking hours grooming, so you second guess yourself and let it go. But this has crossed a line. This is one paw, over and over, or a patch of fur going thin, or the licking that just never stops. You may have already handed over the money for a cone and a bottle, and the moment the cone came off, so did the licking. What if I told you the real reason is almost never what people assume, and the single most useful fix is something your vet, in a rush 12-minute visit, almost never has time to mention? It has nothing to do with a fancy product. Let me guess what you are thinking. You have decided your cat is just fastidious, or nervous, or a little neurotic. That is the first place most cat parents land, and I understand why, but as a veterinarian, I am here to tell you that obsessive paw licking, the kind that wears the fur away, is a symptom, and the body is trying to say something specific. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Chen, your neighborhood vet. And if you have spent a small fortune already and feel like you have failed your cat, drop the guilt at the door. Overgrooming is one of the most misread, misunderstood problems we see in cats, and you have not failed anything. Grab a notebook, hit subscribe to join our pet parent community, and let's become your cat's translator. But first, the one thing most cat parents get wrong, because it changes everything about how you fix this. Quick note before we start. I'm a veterinarian sharing general information to help you care for your pet, but I'm not your cat's vet, and this is not a diagnosis. Every animal is different. And because today we will touch on things you might apply to your cat's skin or add to their food, introduce anything new slowly, watch for any reaction, and check with your own vet first if your cat is on medication, is very young, very old, pregnant, or has a health condition. One thing I need you to hear before anything else, because with cats, it is a matter of life and death. Never, ever put a dog flea product on your cat. So many of the ones made for dogs contain a chemical called permethrin, and to a cat, it is a poison. It can cause tremors, seizures, and death. Cats are not small dogs. We will come back to this. And if your cat is licking one paw raw, limping, has swelling or a wound, or is going bald in patches, that is a vet visit, not a home project. Okay, with that said, here is what most cat parents get wrong. They treat paw licking as a personality trait. She's just particular. He's just anxious. But grooming in a cat is a dial, and when it gets stuck on high, that is information. In the vast majority of cats, licking one paw over and over or licking until the fur thins is not a mood. It is an itch or a discomfort or a worry that the cat is trying to soothe the only way they can with the wet warmth of their own tongue. Think of it like you biting the same fingernail down to nothing without even noticing. Punishing the lick without finding the reason underneath is like unplugging a smoke alarm because the beeping annoys you. The alarm is not the problem. So our whole job today is to stop asking, how do I make them stop? And start asking, what are they trying to tell me? Let me walk you through the real reasons, from the most common down, and then I will hand you the fix almost nobody mentions. Reason number one, and it is the big one, allergies. And with cats, I have to correct a myth right away, so here is my first honesty beat. People assume an indoor cat cannot have flea problems. That is wrong, and it is one of the most costly mistakes I see. In cats, the single most common cause of itching is flea-allergy dermatitis, an allergic reaction not to fleas in general, but to flea saliva. And here is the cruel part, a flea. Allergic cat can be driven to lick and chew herself raw by just 1 or 2 bites from a flea you will probably never see, because a grooming cat swallows the evidence. Fleas hitch a ride indoors on your shoes, on the dog, through a screen door. So an indoor-only cat with itchy paws or a bald strip down the back legs flea allergy goes at the very top of the list, whether or not you have ever spotted a flea. Beyond fleas, cats get environmental allergies too: pollen, dust, mold, and, less often than people think, food sensitivities. But in cats, flea allergy is the crown, and skipping strict flea control is why so many itchy cats stay itchy for years. Now let me help you sort the kinds of allergy apart. because it changes the whole plan. If the licking flares in spring or fall and eases in between, that leans toward environmental allergens, the pollens and grasses of the season. If your cat itches all year round, in the dead of winter as much as in June, then you are thinking about two other things. One is indoor allergens like dust mites, which never take a season off. The other is a food sensitivity, and this is the one people jump to first and get wrong most often. Remember that cats are obligate carnivores. Their body is built to run on meat, and a true food allergy in a cat is usually to a protein they have eaten for a long time: chicken, beef, fish, far more often than to grain. And you cannot diagnose it by swapping bags for 2 weeks. A real food trial means feeding one carefully chosen diet and nothing else. No treats, no extra flavors, no licky-lick snacks for 8 to 12 weeks. And it is worth doing properly with your vet rather than guessing. But before any of that, you rule out fleas every time. That order saves people months. Reason number 2, and this is the one your vet almost never has the 15 minutes to explore. So this is the heart of today: stress. In cats, anxiety does not just live in the head, it comes out through the tongue. There is a very specific, very feline behavior we call psychogenic alopecia, a long name for a simple, sad thing: an anxious cat grooming herself bald as a way to cope. Grooming actually releases a little wave of calm in a cat's brain, so a stressed cat self-soothes by licking and licking until the fur wears off, most often on the belly, the inner legs, and yes, the paws and forelimbs. Cat parents almost never see it coming because the cat does it in private, and the skin underneath often looks perfectly fine, just short, stubbly, barbered fur like someone gave it a bad haircut. And here is what triggers it: the part a rushed appointment skips right over. A new baby, a new pet, a move, a change in your schedule, a favorite person leaving, even another cat outside the window. Cats are deeply territorial, and their stress is almost always about resources and security. Do I have enough safe space, enough height to climb, enough routine, enough of my human? This is the reason I most want you to understand, because you cannot buy the fix in a bottle. You build it into the home. And I will show you exactly how in a moment. Rule it in, but only after the medical reasons are cleared, never before. Now take a breath, because this next group is the one most people never even think to check. Reason number 3, pain and things stuck in the paw. And cats are the great pretenders here. A cat in pain does not usually limp and whimper the way a dog might. A cat goes quiet, hides it, and sometimes the only sign is that they lick right over the spot that hurts. An older cat with arthritis in a wrist or a toe, and far more cats have arthritis than we ever catch, will groom over the aching joint the way you would rub a sore knee. A torn claw, a cracked pad, an infected nail bed, and then the one I never want you to miss: something lodged between the toes. With cats, it is often a hard little grain of litter packed into the fur, or a grass-on, a splinter, a thread. If your cat suddenly, urgently licks or bites at just one paw, one spot, obsessively get a bright light and look between every toe and pad, and check that the claws slide out cleanly. One paw, sudden, frantic, that is your signal to look, and often to see the vet, because a cat will hide the rest. And reason number 4, infection, usually riding on top of one of the others. Here is the cycle, because this is where a cat gets stuck. The allergy or the stress starts the licking, the paw stays damp between the toes, and yeast and bacteria, which live on every healthy cat in tiny amounts, seize that warm, wet, overlicked skin and overgrow. Now the paw itches and hurts more, so the cat licks more, so it stays wetter, round and round. The tells are redness, swelling, a paw that looks angry and gunky, and sometimes a smell. That infected layer almost always needs your vet to clear it before anything underneath can heal. A soak from your kitchen will not touch it. So now the fix vets rarely have time to mention, and for cats it is not a rinse, it is bigger, and it is nearly free. You change the emotional shape of the home, because so much feline overgrooming is stress. The most powerful thing you will ever do is give an anxious cat what her nervous system is actually asking for: security, height, and routine. Here is the mechanism. Because it is so simple, it sounds too soft to matter. A cat feels safe when she owns vertical space and can survey her world from above, when the litter box and food and water and resting spots are hers and not fought over, and when the days have a rhythm she can trust. Take those away, and the stress leaks out as licking. So you add them back. Give her a tall cat tree or a cleared windowsill or a shelf she can climb up high is where a cat feels like a queen. Get the litter box arithmetic right. 1 box per cat, plus 1 extra, in quiet spots, so nobody has to guard a bathroom. Feed on a steady schedule instead of a bottomless bowl, so mealtime becomes a predictable anchor in the day. Add 10 or 15 minutes of real play, a wand toy, a hunt she gets to win, because a cat who gets to stalk and pounce and catch burns off the tension that would otherwise go into her paws. And a calming pheromone diffuser, the synthetic version of the friendly scent cats leave when they rub their cheek on your furniture, can take the edge off a tense house. None of that costs much, and nobody makes a dime telling you to buy your cat a taller perch and a set schedule, which is exactly why it so rarely gets said in a rushed appointment. And here is the rule that ties it together, the one I need you to write down. Never punish the licking. Do not spray her, do not scold her, do not startle her off. To a cat, that just adds fear on top of the stress that started the grooming, and it makes it worse, and it teaches her to do it where you cannot see. You are not trying to stop the behavior by force. You are trying to remove the reason she needs it. Redirect gently to a toy, meet the underlying need, and let the tongue quiet on its own. Let me give you the 2-minute physical helpers too, because they matter alongside the home changes. For the itchy, allergy-driven cat, a quick wipe of the paws with a plain, fragrance-free, alcohol-free pet wipe after they have been near a screen door or a dusty windowsill lifts some of the pollen off the fur before it gets licked in, then let them dry, because a damp paw feeds yeast. Keep the fur between the pads gently trimmed if your cat allows it, so it dries faster and traps less. And for cracked winter pads, the very rare dab of a cat-safe paw balm can soothe the surface, but a smear no bigger than a lentil, because whatever you put on a cat will lick off, so it must be safe to swallow. That is the hard line for cats, and it is my second honesty beat, the safety one. What goes on your cat has to be safe to eat, because it will end up inside them. So please hear these, because they are the ones that land cats in the emergency room. Essential oils, tea tree, eucalyptus, citrus, peppermint. So many of them are toxic to cats, and not only if licked, a cat's liver cannot process them the way ours can, and even diffusing them into the air can make a cat sick. Do not put them on your cat, and do not diffuse them around your cat. Never give a cat human pain relievers. Acetaminophen, that is Tylenol, is lethal to a cat in a single tablet, and ibuprofen and the other anti-inflammatories are just as dangerous. And I will say it again because it is the big one. No dog flea products. Ever the permethrin in many of them kills cats. When it comes to fleas, use only a flea preventive made and labeled for cats, the right one for your cat's weight. Ideally, the vet-recommended kind that is the safe, real fix, and getting it right is the single most important step for the #1 cause we started with. 2 more small, real helpers while we are here. Omega-3 fatty acids, a fish oil made for cats, or a little of the water from a can of sardines packed in water, not oil and not sauce, can help calm the skin's inflammation from the inside and support the skin barrier over a few weeks. It is support, not a cure, and the amount depends on your cat's weight, so ask your vet, because too much oil upsets the stomach. And make sure your cat is drinking and eating enough moisture in the first place. Cats evolved from desert hunters and run chronically dry on kibble alone, and good hydration shows up in the skin and coat. Small things. Stacked together, they change a cat's whole comfort. Let me tell you where the home first approach really comes from for me. Years ago, I helped care for a little colony of rescue cats alongside a woman named Mrs. Alvarez, who had kept cats her whole long life and understood them better than any textbook I owned. She used to say a cat never overgrooms out of vanity. A cat overgrooms because something in her world has gone wrong, and she is the only one who can feel it. When a cat came in licking herself bare, Mrs. Alvarez did not reach for a bottle first. She reached for a tall box in a quiet corner, a steady feeding time, and a wand toy, and she watched which cat was crowding whose space. She treated every cat like family, not an appointment slot. She taught me that the humblest change a shelf to climb, a routine to trust done every single day, can quiet a cat that no spray ever could. Now, the honesty I owe you, because I never want to send you chasing a home fix while something serious grows. This is when the paw is a vet visit, today, not a project for the weekend. If your cat is licking one paw raw, if there is a wound, blood, swelling, a broken or bleeding claw, or a lump, if they are limping, hiding, off their food, or crying, if you find or suspect a foreign body, a thread, or a grass seed working into the skin, if the paw is red, hot, and looks infected, that layer needs treatment your kitchen cannot provide. And if the fur is coming out in patches, or your cat is miserable and losing sleep and licking herself bare, that is a cat whose allergies or anxiety deserve a real plan with your vet. And there are safe, modern options now for the itch and for the stress. Both that can give a suffering cat her life back. Your good vet is not the enemy here. The enemy is the rush system that hands you a cone and a bottle to quiet the symptom and never has the 15 minutes to find the flea allergy or the stress or the litter granule underneath the cause is where your money actually earns its value. So go in informed. Ask, could this be a flea allergy even though she's indoors? And could this be stress? And what are we ruling out? A vet who treats animals like family will be glad you asked. Let's recap. Quick. So you have a plan tonight. Some grooming is normal. A cat spends half her day at it, so we are watching for the licking that thins the fur or fixates on one paw. First, rule out fleas with a cat-safe preventive, because flea allergy is the #1 feline itch even in indoor cats. Then look and feel one paw, sudden and frantic, means look for a stuck litter grain or a grass seed and check for pain a cat is hiding. Then, the fix almost nobody mentions, reshape the home for a stressed cat. Height, a quiet extra litter box, a steady schedule, real play, a pheromone diffuser, and never, ever punish the licking. Add omega, 3S for the skin from the inside, treat any infection with your vet, and keep every oil, every human painkiller, and every dog flea product far away from your cat. Take a picture of this screen. That is the whole map. Next time, I'm going to show you the truth about hairballs, the one you have been told is normal, and the point at which it is quietly telling you something is wrong. And I'm going to be completely honest with you about the remedies, because the internet is lying to you about one of them. Remember, you don't have to be the perfect pet parent. You just have to care enough to learn what your cat is trying to say. And you clearly do. Give your best friend a scratch behind the ears for me and check between those toes while you're at it. Because the best medicine was never the most expensive. It's the love you already give them every single day. I'm Dr. May Chen. I'll see you next time.